It happened on a Thursday. Neil was sitting at the kitchen table, drawing a picture of a spaceship, when everything went dark. The lamp above him blinked once and died. The fan slowed and stopped. The fridge stopped humming. "Mama?" Neil called. "I'm here, Beta." His mother's voice came from the next room. "It's just a power cut. The electricity went out." Neil sat very still. The house was dark. Not scary dark. Just very, very quiet dark. The kind of dark where you can hear your own breathing. His little sister, Dia, padded into the kitchen. "I can't see," she said, her voice small. "Neither can I," Neil said. Then grandmother's voice came from the veranda, calm and warm as always. "Come outside, children. I have something to show you." Neil took Dia's hand, and they shuffled slowly through the house, bumping into a chair, stepping on a slipper, until they reached the veranda. Grandmother was sitting in her rocking chair, and in her hands was a small clay lamp, a Dia, with a cotton wick standing in a pool of mustard oil. She struck a match. The match flared bright, a tiny orange flame that made Neil squint after so much darkness. She touched it to the wick. The Dia caught the flame and began to glow. Soft, golden, flickering light filled the veranda. "There," grandmother said, "our first light." Neil watched the little flame dance. It moved with the breeze, leaning left, leaning right, but never going out. "Where does the light come from, Nani?" Dia asked. "From the flame," grandmother said. "The fire heats the oil, and the oil feeds the wick, and the wick makes the flame." People have used oil lamps for thousands of years, long before anyone knew what electricity was. Mother came out carrying 2 thick candles. She lit them from the Dia's flame. Now there were 3 lights on the veranda, and the darkness pushed back a little more. "Candles burn wax instead of oil," Mother said, setting them on the railing. "Same idea. Something burns, and the burning makes light." Neil looked out at the street. The whole neighborhood was dark. No streetlights, no glowing windows, just shadows and silence. But then he noticed something. Across the lane, old Mr. Sharma was sitting on his step with a kerosene lantern. Its glass chimney glowed with a warm yellow light. Next door, the Patels had lit incense sticks, and the tiny orange tips winked in the dark like fireflies standing still. "Look, Nani," Neil said. "Everyone is finding their own light." Grandmother smiled. People have always found light. Before electricity, before candles, before even oil lamps, people had the oldest light of all. She pointed up. Neil tilted his head. The sky was different tonight. Without the streetlights and house lights washing everything out, the sky was full, truly, deeply full, of stars. Hundreds of them. Thousands. They scattered across the darkness like sugar spilled on a black tablecloth. And the moon, oh, the moon. It hung above the mango tree, round and white and glowing so bright it cast pale shadows on the ground. "The moon and stars," Neil whispered. "They don't need electricity either. The stars are giant balls of burning gas, far, far away," grandmother said. "And the moon doesn't make its own light at all. It reflects the sun's light, like a mirror in the sky." "A mirror in the sky," Dia repeated, her eyes wide and shining in the moonlight. Just then, A flicker of green gold light drifted across the garden. Then another, and another. "Fireflies!" Dia squealed. The little insects floated through the hibiscus bushes, their bodies blinking with a soft glow. On and off, like tiny lamps with their own heartbeat. "Fireflies make light inside their own bodies," Grandmother said. "No oil, no wax, no electricity. Just a special chemical that glows. Nature's own little lanterns." Neil counted the lights around him. The diya, the candles, the kerosene lantern across the lane, the incense tips, the stars, the moon, the fireflies. So many lights, and not one of them came from a plug in the wall. "Nani," he said, "there are so many kinds of light." "There are," she said, "and the most important one is this." She tapped her chest, right over her heart. "The light inside you, your kindness, your courage, your love, that one never goes out, even in the deepest dark." The power came back an hour later. The lamp blinked on. The fan began to spin. The fridge hummed back to life. The neighborhood lit up, window by window. But Neil asked his mother to keep the diwaya burning, just a little longer. He and Dia sat on the veranda, watching the small flame flicker beside the big bright moon and the tiny blinking fireflies. "I like power cuts," Dia said. Neil laughed. "Me too." Grandmother rocked in her chair and hummed a soft tune. The candles dripped wax. The stars burned quietly above, and the fireflies kept drifting through the garden, carrying their little lights into the warm night. Neil yawned, leaned against Grandmother's arm, and closed his eyes. The world was full of light, every kind of light, and he carried all of it into his dreams. "Good night, little one. Look for the lights. They're always there."